Hello, a very good evening to you. Welcome back to the Crucible Theatre in Sheffield. Tonight, we have the third session of the semi-final between last year's finalists. The defending champion, Mark Selby, taking on China's Junhui. And it's set to be another gripping night of snooker.
Apprehensive Mark Selby trails by 5 frames to 3. Well, that's a great shot. You could stand there all day and try and hit that shot that perfectly. Excellent reply. Very well done. His 5th century of the tournament. More importantly, he's closed the gap again. And now he's just one behind at 5 frames to 4.
He's going for it. And he's got it. What a shot. Tremendous pop from Mark Selby. Junhui not having much run of the ball.
Mark Selby came into it 2 behind. He's going into the interval 2 in front. Magnificent from Mark Selby. Ding has something to think about now.
Well, a little bit of luck for once. Well played. Brave shot. He's got a beautiful line. If he misses the brown, this is sensational. What a shot that was. And the black for a wonderful compiled century break. Very well played. Ding Junhui at his best. Ton up. It's been good, tough match snooker. Mark Selby started the session 2 behind, finishes it 2 in front.
Yeah, so this is how it stands this evening. Selby leads the match 9-7, and just look how tight it is between these two superb players. Selby 12 wins to Ding's 11. That's the head-to-head, the 3rd time they've met here at the Crucible 2, and it's 1 apiece here. Ding winning in a quarter-final in 2011, and Selby, of course, winning last year's final at the Crucible. Stephen Hendry is alongside me this evening. Looking forward to tonight. Stephen, let's talk about third session mentality. What's going through the minds in the dressing room right now?
To use a golf analogy, it's moving day, this third session. You've got to get yourself into a nice position to go into tomorrow's final session. A nice lead. Mark Selby's given himself the opportunity to do that. Very big night for Ding Junhui. He has to win this session, in my opinion, and to have any chance of winning tomorrow. And
what was your assessment of the way Mark came out this morning and performed so well?
Excellent. I mean, he put all the doubts about the new tip to bed in the first frame. Excellent century break. His safety play was as good as it always is. Ding, he made a magnificent 139, but he's got to do more of that tonight. He's virtually not got to miss a ball tonight, Ding, for me.
He didn't really get much luck in the first opening 3 frames this morning, did he?
No, he didn't have a good run of the balls, but you find over these long matches, it normally evens itself out.
In terms of confidence, though, the fact that Ding Junhui knocked out Ronnie O'Sullivan, does he walk out here thinking, this is my night?
Well, maybe tonight. I said before this match, although he beat Ronnie, that was a magnificent victory. I felt they'd got to step up another level in this match. As I say, this session tonight for Ding is so important. He really has to win it.
Cheeky question, but does the winner tonight go on to win the title?
I've thought Mark Selby's name was on the trophy from the start.
Wow, good stuff. Thank you very much indeed. OK, the players are standing by. Let's say good evening to Rob Walker.
Thanks, Jason. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. What an epic night in store here at the sports spiritual home. This is a battle to be a part of the 2017 Betfred World Snooker Championship final. We are all set for a rocking session of snooker here at the Crucible. Please welcome, first of all, a man who has helped pave the way for a new generation of snooker players and fans back home. He won his first ranking title when he was just 18. 12 years later, he has a dozen big victories to his name. He's been brilliant here this year, and he'll be ready to produce that form again tonight, because he's a national hero in China. So enter the dragon, Ding Junhui! And his opponent, 12 years after his Crucible debut, he is now one of the sport's key players. World #1 for more than 2 years, winner of 11 ranking titles and 3 Masters crowns, reigning UK champion, defending world champion, the jester from Leicester. He's Mark Selby!
Yes, a very good evening, Jason. A very good evening, everyone, and great to be sitting next to John Virgo for what is going to be a very important session in this semi-final.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Frame 17, Ding Junhui to break.
So it's Ding Junhui that gets it underway, and I'm with Stephen Hendry. I think Ding has got to win this session, John. 5-3, you would think.
Yeah, but I think if you can go into the final session tomorrow afternoon, just 2 behind, I would think it's still all to play for. But to be only 2 behind, of course, so I have to share these 8 frames. Big session, this. Not quite a lot of difference between the important stats. Both made high breaks, and the pot success a little bit lower than what you'd expect, 89%, but they're both on the same mark, so both have missed some pots you'd expect them to get. This is a lovely line, it's a lovely length. Does it get behind the yellow? It certainly does. Good shot. Nice shot. The start of the evening, got the pace of the table.
It looked as if it wasn't going to reach there, but because he had so much side on that to create the angle, it just kept on rolling. Can he get behind the yellow again? He'll be trying to do that. Here it comes, a bit too hard, I think. Well, he still got behind it, but great atmosphere this evening in the Crucible Theatre as the players were introduced. The crowd are really up for this session. That's what Mark's faced with there.
Yeah, and I think when you get evenings like this, Dennis, there's a tension in the air, isn't there? And we all want to see great matches, and this has the potential to be one. Mark Selby, world #1 by a long way, defending champion. Playing a man who has proved, and he proved against Ronnie O'Sullivan, given half a chance, can win any frame in one visit. So Mark's got to be ultra careful, but shouldn't leave anything with a shot like this.
And he's somewhere in the audience, I'm not sure where, a good mate of ours, John, up in the sponsors lounge, the Silver Fox, David Taylor, former world amateur champion and great professional for many years, and he looks terrific. 74 years of age, doesn't look a day over 50. Great to see him here.
This is a more difficult shot than the snooker, funnily enough. Well, he found a good path. Oh, beautiful line. Well played. It's very, very difficult to trap that man. He's got lots of moves on a snooker table. He's missed the blue. Good safety here from both players. Who's going to get the first chance? A little bit of movement. Just caught Mark's eye line. Get up, start again. Got to catch this pretty thin. Good line again. Good line and a terrific pace. We know where this is going to finish. Superb shot.
Is there any player in the game that knows the angles as well as Mark Selby? That was judged to perfection. And what a situation Ding faces here as we show you it again. 1, 2, 3, 4 cushions and in behind the yellow. That's why I christened him Sat-Nav Selby. He knows his way around a table, I'll tell you. What a shot that was.
The only red you could think that Ding Junhui can get safe is if he hits the red closest to the top cushion. Needs to nestle on it. It's a good line. It's a good line. It's a great hit.
Well, I'll tell you what, we haven't had a ball potted yet, but the applause from the audience for some of these safety shots and escapes is terrific. And there's an interesting stat. Ding just slightly ahead. Oh, unlucky.
Foul.
May not cost him
Ding
too
Junhui
much,
fault.
but a bit unlucky to flick the yellow and go in off. I wonder if Ding can return the compliment here and get Mark in behind the yellow.
Yeah, I think that was a sort of half-hearted attempt at the plant. I mean, this frame is in its 8th minute, and I can't think of a pot that's been available for either player. There you see it, just coming up to the 8-minute mark. There's a pot left on here, but whether Junhui will be tempted by it is another matter. Although having said that, it's very difficult to see the safety. And sometimes when you corner a player, don't give him an escape route, you force him into playing the pot. Just having a look at the reds. This is his view. Can't get safe down the left-hand side of the table as he looks. But those 3 reds on the right, the outside one of the 3 does pass the black, but he doesn't fancy it because he can't get on a colour. So nestling up to the red near the top cushion, the red he made contact with before. Good line, beautifully judged.
Back behind the yellow again, if he misses the blue. It's on its way again. Not quite this time, but still a pretty good safety shot.
He can hit reds, but he doesn't feel as though the reds he can hit, he can get safe. So he's looking once again to nestle on this red near the top cushion. A bit more difficult this time to judge the throw of the cushions. But once again looks to have judged it to perfection. Unbelievable this. Tit for tat.
Not that you would be allowed to do, but one player could stand at one end of the table and the other player at this end of the table and just keep, be like a tennis match.
Now this time he has a possibility of playing safe down the right hand side of the table as we look. But boy, he's got to catch this red thin. Well, you can't catch it much better than that. And what a beautiful line. And all of a sudden, he gets the advantage now in this safety exchange. Well played. Because there's no escape route for Mark Selby down the right-hand side, so he's faced with the problem that Junhui has been faced with his last 4 visits.
He's trying to think of another escape route, but Junhui twice had gone across the table and landed on that red that's behind the black spot area. Mark has spotted another escape route. No gap this time, but I think he's got away with it. There's only one possible pot into the right middle pocket, but I can't see a colour from that. So there's not much value in taking the pot on unless he could get on the pink.
Yeah, in the early part of this match, or the early part of the second session, Junhui didn't have a very good run of the balls, and it's so important. He deserved to get the first chance there, but Mark Selby, who played a poor safety, has been very fortunate. Caught this red much too thick, that's why he careered into the black, and the black covered the one red that may have tempted Junhui. I don't see another. No, he had no pot on.
I think you can see enough of this red on the right side of the table to come back down off, but he's got to be careful. He could get the double kiss. So he doesn't like that one.
I suppose the other way, Dennis, is to come off the top cushion and just nestle on that red that's near the right-hand cushion. Well, he's thinking of something. And the red's onto the middle. Or is it? Has it just run that inch too far?
I think it'll cut in, John. I think he can cut this in. It's a very thin one. But he's not looking at it at the moment. I think he can get past the black. He's now looking at the angle of the red. The only thing, if he cuts this in, he'd have no idea where the cue ball was going. And there's not a lot of value in coming back up the table because pink and black are awkward. Pink's in the open somewhat, but he doesn't fancy that cut in.
Well, we're just saying it's this side of the middle pocket, but obviously he thinks it's too risky. Caught that a bit too thick, but he still covered the safety down the right hand side of the table. There you go, in the 16th minute, and hardly a sniff of a pot for either player.
It's opened the reds up nicely. I suppose this is one stat we wouldn't have. Can't remember a frame with still 15 reds on the table. And we've been going 16.5 minutes without a ball being potted. I can't remember one. And I've been coming here, John, 40 years, every year playing and commentating, and I can't remember a frame going this long in an opening frame of a session.
So close, but he's got a good cue ball. Good cue ball. Yes, I've been coming here the same, Dennis, and normally when it takes this long without a red being potted, we're thinking about a re-rack, but not on this occasion. The way the reds are spread, whoever gets first chance, they could get plenty.
He's playing a safety shot, but he looked at possibly sending this red in off another red. Oh, far too thin. Surely you can't get away with it this time. There must be something available into the left corner. You can pot the one next to the blue, but there's certainly a red available, but can he get it onto a colour? Now he's back looking at the one next to the blue.
Got to avoid the kiss on the yellow here at all costs. No problem doing that. It wasn't as thin as it looked. So Ding Junhui gets the better of Mark Selby in an 18-minute safety battle. That doesn't happen often.
Oh, it's not going to nestle in the red, surely.
4.
I mean, you're playing the white into an area where you think you're going to have a choice of 5 or 6 reds, and look where it's landed. You just think to yourself, put the white in an area and you're bound to have a pot on, and look where it landed. Anything that he's faced with is not straightforward.
No, there's one possible red, and that's the one just above the pink. He could cut that to the left middle, stun over to the side cushion. He'd be on the yellow, should he pot it. Well, he's going for the more difficult red here for me. Needs to get this.
Where's the red going to finish up? Oh, can he get past the yellow? I think he can. There's a gap between the brown and yellow, so maybe there's not, maybe there isn't. So he has got away with it. It'll have to be a long, as we show you, that's covered. And with a prolonged safety bout, you lose a little bit of rhythm. Can he knock this long one in? No. Do you know, he might have got away with this. I'm just having a quick look. There's one will go in the middle, but there's no easy starter again. It's quite unusual, this, to be right in amongst them and not have an easy starter. They all seem to be covering each other into the left corner, covering each other into the left middle. So there's just the one red that will pot, the one to the left of the pink. This is a slightly better chance for Mark Selby, but he was been fortunate a couple of times there, John.
It's unbelievable sometimes, the run of the balls. Mark Selby, once he'd missed that red to the corner and the cue ball stayed in this half of the table, how did he not leave anything easy?
One. Six. 7.
You can just forget about the black. Concentrate on the pink here, and the blue, if he needs it, is on the spot. It's a pretty good chance this. What is there? There's at least 5, 6 reds. Nicely placed. He's looking for 70 points
13.
to leave Ding needing a snooker.
$14. $19. 20.
Just got to be careful now. He needs good close control of the cue ball because the reds are now becoming a little more awkward. I think there will be a time when there's 3 reds just to the left of the black. The bottom one will go to the corner, and he could play for the black, get it on his spot,
26.
and the black would be available into both corner pockets.
27.
Might play for that red now. The one immediately to the left of the black. Straighter on it would have been better, but as I say, he can play for the black off this red now.
33.
You'd think roll this in and then come off the top cushion and cannon the red that's just above the red he's potting. Nicely played.
34.
Now he can get the black in play, and then it does become a frame winning opportunity.
$41. $42.
I've noticed with Mark Selby, he's very comfortable striking and bridging over a ball when he's hampered. He's quite a tall lad. He's got longish fingers, which help, but he never seems to miss. He always seems to be able, and even with power, he seems to be able to strike over a ball and still create enough pace.
49.
So there you see it, just another 19 points needed to get to the snooker's required stage. That basically equates to 3 more reds and 3 colours.
Yeah, he should be okay up this end of the table, but he's got the red up next to the yellow that's in a nice, easy, potable position. If
57.
he should need that.
$58.
He's done very well here, but it has to be said he was rather fortunate. He got away with a couple of shots that
65.
he messed up and didn't leave Ding Junhui in.
Yes, it's a cruel game sometimes, but Junhui did have a good chance. You could say he was unlucky when he potted the green and finished on nothing, but you got to make the most of every half chance you get, particularly against this man, because he didn't give many opportunities. And this black,
66.
at the moment, he's 58 points in front. There's 59 remaining. This black, 2 snookers will be needed.
$73.
It looked like it was going to be a really long frame. It was over 18 minutes before a ball was potted, but this break's been going just 7.5 minutes, so it's still going to be under the 30 minutes, you would feel. And this red, as I mentioned, was always going to be available, but I don't think he's played it too well unless he finds the gap. He might pot this off the side
81.
cushion, a little trick shot. Dead weight. And if he knocks the red in, he'll get a terrific round of applause. He's good at the angles. He's pretty good at the angles.
82.
Certainly enjoyed that. We had a few whistles as well for that little trick shot. Wow, look at this for a shot. Unbelievable. Wow.
87.
Where did this come from? A possible 100 from the situation the balls were in. He's already had 5 in this year's World Championship. 66 we've had in
88.
total, 20 away from the record. Oh, he may be faced with quite a thin cutback here.
This is a very
95.
similar cutback to the one in 85. Right in the heart of the pocket.
96.
It didn't look possible to make a century break from where the balls were situated. But in it goes. Fabulous effort from Mark Selby. That's his 54th century this season.
101.
He made 47 last season,
103.
and that's why he's world #1 and has been for just over 2 years.
Yes, had a little bit of run the ball when he missed a couple, as you say, but this has been a sensational clearance. And I say clearance because I expect him to concentrate fully now and pot this blue, pink and black.
He's had a 139, a 143, but Ronnie O'Sullivan holds the highest break with 146. But this is very timely.
121.
It was a very tactical frame at the start, over 18 minutes before a ball was potted. But that's a magnificent break of 128. And Mark Selby extends his lead. He now leads 10 frames to 7.
Thank you. Frame 18. Mark Selby to break.
Not the best break-off shot there from Mark Selby. Junhui just having a look to see if the black's available into the right corner. If it is, makes this pot a little bit more easier. He doesn't have to do much with the cue ball. Obviously the black did go. Where's this red going? Well, he's going to be hampered, Mark, but will he take it on? Obviously, as I say, the black goes to the opposite corner and he tried to play that red. And the question is, has that red run safe?
Take a seat, please.
Just waiting for someone to take their seat there. But as I mentioned, Mark bridging over a red seems to play them so well. This would be a tester for that. Very solid bridge hand there, but you get a little bit of unwanted side, you can miss these. But he plays them so well.
One.
That was about the best he could manage. He's the wrong side of the blue, but he can get back up to the reds here. Well, not as he intended, but it might work out to his advantage here, John. He'll take this on with the rest and maybe
6.
open the bunch.
Yeah, he put it a little bit too much left-hand side. It may work to his advantage, but this red is definitely missable. See, when it checks up, that's the left-hand side that caused that. And it just sent it too straight on for the red. And as Dennis said, it may work to his advantage. The fact, in potting it, it'll be bringing the pink and other reds into play. But he's got to play with a lot of pace, and using the rest makes this red missable. %. He's only missed one with the rest during this match. But he's missed that one. Now what has he left?
Mark Selby 6.
Nothing.
Amazing. Once he took it on, he would have thought, I must get this, otherwise I'm going to leave Junhui right in amongst them. And he's covered everything. Doesn't have to make a big difference if you miss and you get away with it.
Well, I think from Junhui's point of view, Dennis, it's very debilitating, isn't it? You see your opponent making mistakes, you come out, you see, and there's quite a walk to the table, and you're looking for something, anything. And that's about 3 times. And of course, now we're at the one table situation there, you see. Players sat quite a distance from the table. Mark Selby he's playing his luck here.
Nothing lucky about that safety shot, played to perfection. And just a little point while we show you the players' view. We were talking to Junhui's friends up in the Champions Lounge from China, and Stephen Hendry and myself, and we're saying, what do they call him in China? Is it Ding? Because, yeah, he said it's okay to call him Ding, because if you call him Ding, it sounds like you're calling him by his surname. But they said, yep, no, people call him Ding, so. You see, you got Selby and you got Ding, so really it's his surname, but it's okay to call him Ding. He's quite happy with that.
That's all he could do, and he's made a pretty good job of it. He has left the red, the one to the left of the blue is potable. And he's just, must be very anxious, just wants to get his hand on the table, have an easy starter. And you can't blame him for thinking he's entitled to get one. It's like when people fluke a red and then make a big break, you say, yeah, but apart from the fluke, the rest of it was flawless. Well, if it hadn't been for the fluke, he'd never have had the opportunity. Doesn't fancy that red. Good line.
I think he's using all his experience. He's not going to risk a long pot and leave Ding in amongst them. So he's keeping it tight here. He's got a 3-frame advantage. That's why he didn't risk the long pot. Keep your opponent in trouble.
Yeah, and I think that's been Mark Selby's game plan from frame one. He's more inclined to play thin safeties rather than play the attacking safety. He knows how dangerous Ding Junhui can be when he gets in amongst the balls. Can't get to the safety shot down the right-hand side of the table. And he's frightened to play the containing safety to this end because there is a red. The one that's furthest away from this top cushion would be available to the right corner. And he can't get to the side cushion to nestle on the red because the yellow's in the way. So another headache for the young man. That red that's just away from the top cushion, the furthest away, he's trying to nestle onto that. Needs to judge this well. Needs to judge it well. If he slips by it, he leaves it. If he slips by it, he leaves it. Well played.
He had 3 escapes, at least 3 escapes like that in the opening frame, which were played to perfection. Couple of reds he can get back down the table off, but he's looking for the one that'll make it as awkward as possible for his opponent. Needs to miss the brown, and he hasn't. And the brown, now that it's next to the yellow, is a nice target. Ding might be able to get in behind those two from this position. Looks a pretty good line to me.
Well, you have to say this start of this evening's session is absolutely wonderful snooker. Snooker for the connoisseur. Some of the safety has been absolutely brilliant. Called it a little bit too thick. And he's left a chance. You'd think he'd be looking at the red closest to the cue ball. Just got to avoid the left middle pocket here.
One. A lot of support here in the Crucible Theatre for Ding Junhui. Of course, he's been living in the Sheffield area now for 10 years, believe it or not. But this is a pretty good chance. Can he return the compliment and make him a sizable contribution here? You've seen Mark Selby make that magnificent 1-2-8, and this is his response.
7. $13. 14.
He's okay. Bit straighter on this red would have been ideal. Needs another 49
20.
points from this position to clinch the frame.
21.
He may not be too happy with that. Slightly hampered. It all depends on the potting angle of the pink. If you can just roll it in and get on the next red, fine. He's okay. He was okay. He just had the angle where he could roll it in. Match time, just over 7 hours.
27. $28.
He's okay. He's got a red just above the black spot. If he's got the right angle, he can play for. Could even then decide to play for the black. Got the perfect angle on the pink. But of course, when you have these long drawn out safety exchanges, Dennis, when you get these opportunities, you've got to take them. So there's pressure on every shot.
34.
And when he pots this red, it's clearing the path for the red to the right of the 4 for the left corner pocket.
$35.
So those 4 reds are all available towards the pink. Playing out for those rather than the difficult one along the cushion. He could have done with hitting it a little harder. He's just slightly out of position, but he should be okay. There's a little gap there that he can screw through to get on the pink. It's just a delicate little gap that he's found
43.
perfectly.
Looked at his body language. He looked up there. I don't think he's perfect on this pink. Well, he can just hold it. Little stun run through. Well, he found he could drop it in, dead weight, and still retain nice position. And those 3 reds in the middle of the table with colours, you would think would put him past the point where Mark Selby needs a snooker.
And removing that red
50.
has cleared the path for the other 2 to the right corner. So good response after that opening frame. It was always going to be a cracking semi-final. It would have graced any final
56.
this match. Well, it was a final last year, wasn't it?
57.
When Ding had to come through the qualifying stages at Pawns Forge and got himself through to the final.
So now, this red and the black
64.
to go 66 points ahead with only 59 remaining. And as you say,
65.
Dennis, what a response this has been. He could have been forgiven for feeling a little bit down after what happened to him in the first frame, but none of it. Very well played. Very well played indeed. 66 points to lead, 59 remaining.
72.
And I suggest that he just rolls this red in. He doesn't want Mark Selby to be playing for snooker. Just make certain of the red. That's exactly what he does.
73.
That will mean no way back to the table now for Mark Selby. Good play. Oh, great shot on the pink. Well, the standard here is absolutely superb.
79.
Chance of a century. Who'd have thought it?
Yeah, who would have thought it in
80.
the opening frame as well, after the way the match started, over 18 minutes, without a ball being potted, but the standard has been superb.
87.
He has had 11 centuries so far, way ahead of anyone else in this year's Betfred World Championship. If he could get one here, he'd have twice as many as the next player. Mark Selby and Mark
94.
Allen were on 6.
Yeah, he just didn't get the right angle, so this tough
95.
black for 100, and what a century this would be. Oh, he got a kick. He got a kick. Well, it doesn't matter. Well done, Junhui. Mark Selby seemed to be having a run of the ball in that frame, but he got one chance and he did the business. Marvellous play from both players. 2 in it again. 10-8. Mark Selby.
Thank you. Settle down, please. Frame 19. Ding Junhui to break. Guess, shall I?
Yeah, his temperament is totally different. He doesn't beat himself up the way he used to do. He used to go back to his seat and slouch in the seat, and the body language was always pretty poor, but that's long gone. The white's close. The white's very close.
Foul.
It's only going to cost him 4 points.
There's
There's nothing
4.
available. That's a bit short of pace. And he might be tempted here. He might just be tempted to have a go with this long red because he can get on the black. It's a tough one, but he'll come around and see what he would leave. I don't know if he can hold for the black off one cushion if he takes the pot on. But he's a pretty attacking player, and that's what he's going to attempt here. This would be some shot if he can pot it and hold for the black. Now, where's the red going to finish? Might just be tempted here to take the double on. It's a thin cutback. The double would be a free shot. He's pretty good at doubling balls, is Ding Junhui. It's not far away. Oh! Look at the cue ball. He would have been right in.
I'm sure for a second he thought that was in the pocket. It was so close. But once again, you see there, Mark Selby close to reds, no intention of bringing anything out. He's playing thin safeties all the time, trying to keep this match very tight. Now you see the other side of it. Ding Junhui will be more inclined to play a thicker safety and bring reds into play. Good length for the cue ball was needed and got. He's left a half ball pot on, but it's made so much more difficult With that cue ball tight to the ball cushion.
Well, if he takes this pot onto the right corner, he'll do well to avoid canning into the red there, to the left of the bunch. And he didn't avoid the cannon into that red. Has he got away with it? Well, it'll still cut this red to the left of the bunch, and he could get himself onto blue or both colours. We show you the attempt. Maybe if he had potted it, he might have avoided the cannon. Yes, well played.
One.
Just the wrong side of the blue, so he'll have to leave a medium pot red into the left corner.
Not quite certain what Junhui is looking at there. Is there a plant somewhere? You'd think he'd just drop it in and play for the red that Dennis suggested.
I think what he was looking at, John, was got to play for the pink in such a way that I could leave a good angle to get into the reds from the pink.
Yeah, maybe he's thinking if he plays for the pink won't go on its spot, and the red just to the right of the pink will be available. He's decided to go for the blue, and he's got a good angle on the blue. And I would suggest here, he may be better. We normally see a player cannon into the pink, but I'd just cannon into the red, just to the right of the pink here. Catching the pink, you see, because it was loose, but he's okay. He's just about got this red to the middle. It's not perfect, but it's a pot.
12.
And that's all you can hope for. If it had just missed the pink and hit that red, I think it'd have been more beneficial.
Oh, it's just ran far enough as well. That was a good shot, but it's not the perfect angle to pot the yellow and get into the bunch. It's a little bit thin for that. He might possibly, he's just looking to see if he could do that. No, it wasn't on. It wasn't quite on. It was just a bit too thin for the shot that he attempted.
50.
Yeah, just a misjudgment there. He'd have been better off playing for this red, but of course once the pink went over the corner, that red was no longer available.
50.
It was a difficult opportunity. He tried to break the reds once. They didn't break nice.
I think he may just have covered the path down the left side of the table, or can Ding just snick the reds? He's just stepped away to let Brendan Moore have a look at it, but I think he can just get to the edge of the reds there. Of course, with the pink over the pocket, it's not completely over the pocket. It makes this a bit of an awkward frame now.
Yeah, and it has to be said that once Junhui could get past the yellow and hit the reds, he should have found that ball cushion. He had a good line, he could have had Mark Selby in trouble. Probably an opportunity now for Mark to put Ding in trouble. Ooh, much too thick. Okay, he's not left anything, but didn't make the most of that opportunity to play a good safety. Can Ding Junhui play one here? Misses the yellow, it could be pretty good. Pretty good.
Just got to be careful that he doesn't send a red over that corner pocket where the pink is. There's one red that will cut towards that pink. So imperative he gets a good cue ball again. Hasn't blocked off the escape route down the left side of the table, but the reds are gradually going to get pushed towards the pink. There's another red over there, and we might have another one joining it shortly. As I say, if the pink was right over the pocket, it would be a stalemate. At the moment, you can't leave a pot into that corner pocket because of the pink. Well, he's made a complete mess of that shot. I think he took a pot on in the end, and he could have left something much easier than this for Ding Junhui.
There's big pressure on this red that's round about the black spot. But yeah, it's hard to imagine what he was playing. I mean, maybe he thought he could play the pot and get through the gap, but missed the pot by so much. But what pressure there is on this. Got to go in. Brilliant. Superb. Boy, has this young man temperament to do it on the big stage. We all had great hopes for him. And then he had a couple of years in the wilderness, got a few bad beatings by Ronnie O'Sullivan, and it seemed to affect his confidence and his belief. But he's got it back now.
Yeah, it's only a few seasons ago since this Chinese player won 5 ranking tournaments in one season. Trusting a little bit to luck with the cannon there, and he might just be okay. There's a red will go to the right middle pocket.
7.
As we show you the shot again, he's just playing a cannon just to open things up.
He can play this red, drop it in dead weight, it could be on the pink. Played it firmer and right in the heart of the pocket.
8.
I thought by playing it firmer, he made the pot that little bit more difficult, but he's held nicely for the blue. Choice of reds here. He'd like to be on this red just below the blue so he can get a nice angle on the
13.
blue. Just needs another 36 points from this position.
$14.
little bit straighter on this blue would have been better, but the red just below the pink, you'd feel he can hold for or play for. We may be looking at a cannon on those two reds together. Well, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. I think he played for this red. It was a natural. It's difficult to tell from our commentary box exactly what the player can see, but he's perfect.
20.
And he's very good with his little stun screws. He's as good as anyone I've ever seen, in all honesty.
Yeah, just one slip up from Mark Selby, and it's going to prove costly.
26. 27.
Could possibly screw past those two reds together, because the two reds just in the open, he could play for either of those to the left middle. Just got to judge this right. Little screw shot. And using the opportunity to cannon off those two reds. Now, what's the potting angle like? He's on a red to the left middle. If it was straight, it wouldn't be a problem.
33.
Don't mind him taking that opportunity. Well, he doesn't like the potting angle, so this red and back up for the blue.
34.
That's inch perfect.
Yeah, just that one mistake that I said. Mark Selby thought he could pot this red and find the gap there, and he got nowhere near the pot and then messed up. But hasn't he took full advantage of that mistake?
Well, as you said at the time, and we referred to it, that opening red,
39.
there was so much pressure on it, tight under the cushion. And just rolled it in beautifully. This was the one, right in the heart of the pocket. Oh, he never got into the cue ball. He never got into the cue ball.
40.
Oh dear.
That was amazing, because if he overdoes it, he's on the blue. He didn't get any screw on it, he just stunned it. Just a little lapse in concentration there.
How many times do we see it? I think the job's done. He's done all the hard work. What a mistake. Snookered on all colours. Who'd have thought that from the position he was in just a moment ago?
Well, can he see the black? He's looking at that, but I think he's snookered on that one. Maybe he can just see the black.
Black ball.
Just about. Well, he had to play it with a touch of
Junhui,
side
40.
there, and he's left a possible pot here. He's 59 in front. There's lots of points left on the table. It doesn't have to be all blacks. Might have been better trying to play the green from that situation rather than risk that little swerve.
This would be a body blow if he was to lose this frame now. Has to sit there now and suffer. The big problem ball for Mark Selby will be the one that's very adjacent to the black. But he'll just be happy to be back at the table with a chance of winning the frame. Didn't see that coming. You see it 53 behind, 59 remaining,
6.
so few points to play with.
Bit of a nervy one there from
Mark Selby,
Mark
6.
Selby. That's cost him this frame. There's a lot of pressure on him there, but he had a chance. Took the slightly more difficult pot for good position. But once he missed that, he knew it was the end of frame. Well, he holds his hand up to apologise, but it doesn't matter. The frame was safe anyway, but this to absolutely make certain. He's showing a lot of composure here. Is this Chinese player? He really is.
But how relieved will he be, Dennis? How relieved after the mistake he made. And Mark Selby didn't punish him.
8.
So Mark Selby will feel the repercussions of that. And Ding Junhui, well, he can forget about the careless positional shot.
14.
One more
15.
frame to be played before the mid-session interval, and every chance that we could be all square. Mark Selby might have other ideas. Doesn't matter about that. You just try a double.
21.
A treble even. Doesn't matter. Mark will stay in his seat and will signal to the referee. That's a great frame for Ding Junhui. Mari's only one frame behind. It's 10-9 to the defending champion.
Thank you. Take your seats, please. Thank you. Settle down. Frame 20. Quiet down, please. Mark Selby to break.
Yes, as I say, it's been snooker for the connoisseur, the safety play, but yeah, the century from Mark Selby, and that blue, Dennis, was just, well, one of the best pots and positional shots you'll ever see. But considering he had all that in the first frame, hasn't Ding Junhui done well to keep tabs with the defending champion? Big frame now before the mid-session interval. And Ding will get the first chance.
One.
What a terrific reception there for that long pot. He's got an awful lot of supporters here in the Crucible Theatre as this very popular player.
Well, he's looking at the two reds just below the cluster. He thinks there may be a plant. And they are. But can he get to it off the yellow? He'll have to force this off the side cushion. Well, he didn't. Well, he'd be okay with that. He'd be okay with that.
3.
Puts his hand up and apologises. But he won't apologise for potting the rest of the balls if he can.
Four.
And for me, I'm certain that plant's still there. He just didn't feel as though he could get on it the last time. Oh, well, you play them at pace, you've got to be so accurate.
4.
First chance, it's gone a begging. You catch that near jaw, they're not going to drop.
That's well negotiated to get onto a bulk colour. The only consolation for Ding Junhui was the black went in amongst the reds and is out of commission. The pink is available in a few shots' time. And Mark Selby will be hoping that the pink spot is occupied and the pink goes onto the black spot that would make a big difference.
4.
Not sure if he's got a good angle to get onto the pink here. He might have to go up for the blue again.
Five.
Well, this is going to require a very accurate shot. He's going to have to pop this blue, go between yellow and brown with left hand side to head towards the pink and reds. Here comes the cue ball. How's your luck, Mark? Not very good. He turns away, and that tells us that he's not on a red.
10. Touching.
Played it well. Loads of side, you could see it pick up pace. Bit unlucky.
Yeah, well, he thinks he can just get through to the thin edge of this red and cut it to the right corner. And he could.
11.
And once again, bridging over a ball. As I say, I've never seen anybody as good as this player when he's hampered like this.
Yes, the one thing you've got to do when you're striking down on the ball is find the centre of the white. Inch perfect.
14.
It's hard to describe how good a shot that last one was, positional wise. To screw up from where
50.
the green was and to finish in that gap. You can't really teach someone that. I mean, that's just brilliant.
Another 41 points needed from this position to get to the
21.
snooker's required stage.
$22.
And those two reds that we thought was a plant early on, Dennis, they're still there. Are they still a plant? There's a lot of balls moved around them. Mark's interested. They're not far off.
I think they're just going slightly to the right of the pocket. He's got the loose one there as well, though. Well, let's see. He's playing
28.
the loose red. It's just going to the left of the pocket, that plant, as you can see. Yeah, you can see better from that angle.
$29.
Well, if he can't follow through and bring the reds into play, he might just have to play for the plant. But I think the other red that's next to it might just stop him from making the angle. We'll know exactly whether he thinks it's on with the way he plays the pink. See, there's a little bit of distance between the two reds, and he doesn't think the plant's on because he was looking at swinging this around the angles and somehow getting into the... What a shot this is he's taking on, by the way. Screw off the side and top cushion with loads aside. Have a look at that for a shot. That is one of the best positional shots you could ever wish to see. We talked about the long blue, but this here was tremendous. It really was.
Yeah, and the amount of side he put on it, I don't think he's got a tip problem.
Yeah, good point, John. The new tip that he had put on, if you weren't confident with it, you wouldn't even attempt a shot like that with that much side. And that one shot he played there could well be a frame winner. He's already 32 in front. I mean, it's worth to see this against so much right-hand side. Look at the white pickup pace.
$42.
These two players gave us a great final last year. 18-14, Mark Selby beat Ding Junhui. And this semi-final here could quite well be a classic.
50.
You know, things got to within one frame, but look how Mark Selby's responded.
Yes, he did have first chance, of course. Ding Junhui missed the black along the top cushion. And such is the standard
51.
and the standard that these two players have shown this evening. You miss when you're in, it's going to cost you. That was the black. And he's been sat down ever since. 53 points, the difference, 59 remaining. Pot this red, go 54 in front, with just 51 remaining.
He is a tough player to get the better of, isn't he? And that's why he's remained at #1 for so long, just over 2 years.
64.
He really is one of the best match players we've ever seen.
Well, pity about that, but that'll be enough for Ding Junhui, I'm certain. He came out this session, he's having a look at the scoreboard. Well, he's going to give it a go. Fair play to him. But he's 60 points behind.
Can you switch that off, please?
With just 51 remaining. So 3-4 point snookers required.
One.
Every credit to him coming back. Wouldn't normally be in his DNA to play for 3 snookers, but as we always say, 1 snooker and a free ball is the equivalent of 3 snookers.
8.
Highly unlikely against somebody with the
9.
knowledge of the angles like Mark Selby, but he'll pot the black and try to get the snooker off this last red, get the snooker a free ball. Now the idea here is to try and get this cue ball tight behind the pink and try and get the red close to
60.
any other colour. Maybe in behind the yellow or something. Something that could possibly give you a free ball.
Ding Junhui. 16.
Well, close to the ground, my head. say 3 snookers needed, but if he gets 1 snooker a free ball, 1 snooker would be sufficient.
Yeah, 1 cushion escape. You have to be very accurate. He's going to slip past it.
Foul.
And he'll be snookered again in behind the brown. So all of a sudden, we're waiting for the mid-session interval. We thought this frame was all over. There's the second snooker.
Well, this is a lot easier than the first one that Mark was in.
Looking at the angle here, can he get twice across the table and in behind the pink? Not a bad effort, just a bit too hard.
Left Mark Selby a chance of this red. And he won't refuse the opportunity, obviously, because if he pots the red, that's frame over. Now then, possibility here, push the red down to the top cushion, try and get that cue ball tight to the blue. Well, he may have got it, but he hasn't cut off the 1 cushion escape. That's why he needed to be tight to the blue.
I think he prefers the 2 cushions. Believe it or not, it's just slightly easier. Now, sometimes hitting 2 cushions rather than the 1, John, yeah?
Yeah. You won't want to pot this red. He wants to leave it on, so he'll only have 1 snooker needed. That's, of course, if you can force a free ball. Don't want that red in. Ooh, and it wasn't going to be a bad shot, really. May still have the snooker here. Maybe an edge of the red, but Mark would be very careful that he didn't clip the pink on the way to it. Because if he did, Ding Junhui could then win. Now, may play this red off the bump of the middle pocket and send the red ball back this way and try and get over behind the yellow. Don't know whether that's on, but that's a thought. Oh, well, that's unlucky. And that's enough for Ding Junhui. You can see the last thing he wanted was that red to go. Well, what 4 marvellous frames they were. And everything. Big breaks, great safety, snooker for the connoisseur. But the bottom line is, at the mid-session interval, Mark Selby still has a 2-frame advantage over Ding Junhui.
Thank you, Jason. And A very good evening to all the Red Button viewers. I enjoy watching it on the Red Button back at the hotel. Do you tune in as well, John?
Yes, I enjoy watching snooker. I don't make any secret of the fact I love the game, and I've got to say, Dennis, I loved those first 4 frames. It had everything. Great safety, great break building, and some pots that will stick in the memory for a long time.
Foul, a miss.
Did that drift? The tables have
Junhui
been
6.
playing so well and so true. I'm not sure if he thinks it drifted. Maybe did he get a little touch aside that he didn't want to put on? He's brushing the nap of the cloth down there. The nap of the cloth runs from the D area up to the black spot area. If you rub the cloth, it's like smooth. If you rubbed it the other way, it's a bit rough. The great Ray McAnally, the actor from Ireland that was in My Left Foot, used to commentate on the snooker, the Masters, and he described the nap of the cloth like the fur on a pussycat's back. I thought it was a good description.
Trying it again. But he's gone through the gap, and if he goes through the gap, surely he leaves a red on. He'd love to play the cut rather than the one to the right middle. Can he get on a bought colour?
One. Junhui 1.
It's not a bad time to run in behind the brown. We'll show you the cut back again. Just the pace of the table. Took him past the line there to be able to pot a ball colour. But with a red either side of the bunch of reds, it's not easy to just nestle into the side of the pack and leave it safe. So he's got a little bit to think about here. And there's no way into the back of the bunch of reds because he'd leave a pot on there also. So this will certainly test Mark Selby's escape route here. He's going to do well to hit that and leave it safe. Now he's left one to the left middle pocket. I just couldn't see him getting away with that.
There is a red probably to the right corner, but this one to the left middle. He doesn't have to do much with the cue ball to get position. He's got the perfect angle. Just pot the red, he'd be on the black. He got the first chance from the frame before the mid-session interval, which could have got him to all square. Got the first chance in this frame. Possibility here, if he plays the red to the left corner, to just stun off the main bunch of reds. Could bring other reds into play. Should be on the blue or pink, you would have thought. We're deciding to just pot it clean.
9.
Surprising, but his decision.
Yeah, he's still got a couple of reds available to him. The one to the right of the bunch, the one to the back and left of the bunch. They're not a great pack of reds to cannon into.
14.
So a very early
15.
key shot coming up. He wants to hit that red directly at the back of the bunch. He wants to hit it half ball, not full ball when he plays the cannon. Well, how many times do we see that? Take the eye off the
Junhui,
pot.
15.
Concentrate on the cannon. Bad slip up there.
Yeah, and you can see the cue ball jumping and the black was jumping. And that's what happens when you play a lot of pace on these super fine cloths. If you don't give it a pure strike, you're going to get the cue ball bouncing as it's coming into the black. And you can see it immediately. Look at that cue ball was bouncing, and when it hit the black, it caused that to bounce, threw it offline.
There's something in his line of sight here. Not sure what it is. Well, it was enough to put him off, whatever it was. And he slings the extension onto the table. Doesn't look happy with whatever it was that was in his line of sight there. Well, he's straight back at the table, and the white's being cleaned, but I'm not sure if Ding got a kick or not.
One.
Only the one loose red. If he's got the angle on the pink, I think he may try and disturb some reds, but just probably not got the angle to do that. So he's electing to pot the blue and play for the one open red. And now, it isn't an easy pack to go in direct from the blue because the pink is separated somewhat from the main bunch of reds. So it'll be interesting to see how he goes about this. Decided he wanted to play it and come in the side of it, and he's come absolutely perfect on the yellow.
Yeah, that's why he didn't play for the blue. He's left this angle here to go straight into the reds. Where's that red? It needs to pull up, and it has. Okay, he didn't get the cannon as he intended, but he brought a couple of reds out.
Will not be happy with that. He'd be lucky to keep this break going unless there's a plant.
No wonder he was smiling, John. That's probably the worst positional shot I've ever seen Mark Selby play.
Yep. No value in playing the pot on the green here.
Mark Selby, 10.
Just played the containing safety, didn't want to risk going back to the baulk end off that red that was tight to the top cushion. It's always a difficult shot. Don't blame him for that. Now, if Ding's trying to get back to the baulk end, he's going to open these reds up, so he needs to be certain he can get there. I think it's too risky to play back to baulk here. No, couldn't risk it.
Normally you would say Mark Selby's safety would be much better than Ding's, but if you look at the safety success rate, it's surprisingly Ding who's ahead in that department. And the tournament safety success rate is, yeah, Ding's ahead in that as well. That's surprising.
Faced with the same problem he had last time at the table, Ding Junhui. He can get through to the reds, but to avoid the kiss on the green and the red that's on the left-hand side of the table, you'd want to hit these reds thick. And if you hit them thick, you're going to bring all these reds into play, so you've got to guarantee having a good cue ball. And too risky, he considers. So coming off the side cushion just to nestle into these reds. Doesn't want to slide by them though. He's got to hit it hard enough to reach, and that's well short.
Foul, the miss. Mark Selby 4.
No reason, I don't think. That, well, being that close, there was a case there for playing a safety and opening up the reds, but as I said, Dennis, I noticed in the session this morning, Mark's game plan, keep it tight. Only open the reds when you got a chance of doing so. Off a colour, but tough shot this for Ding Junhui. Played it into the green, and fortunately the red he played, it's another red, so it's okay. But that could have gone horribly wrong. If the red doesn't kiss the other red, he'd have had something on. Just watch the way this red that ran into the green and was going back up the table until it kissed the second red. So, a slight run of the ball there for Ding Junhui. Deserves some. Looked like being a good safety until it flicked the brown. Now, is this the time? I know he's got a pot on. All eyes for the pot, not looked at a safety. Play for the pink into the middle, so doesn't have to do a lot with the cue ball. Long pot success is a little bit lower than what's required at this level, but he could do with this one. Wonderful, wonderful, and he's on the pink. So he gets another opportunity. Now, if he's not straight enough on the pink to cannon into the main bunch of reds, he has an angle just to cannon the loose red and knock it towards the right corner. And as I say, there's no one better around the pink for me than this young man. But he was able to get into the cluster and has played it beautifully. I expect nothing less, and he didn't let me down. Wonderful shot.
7.
Looking to see if the pink will go into the same corner as he's potting this red, but if it doesn't, he's still got the green at this end of the table. Just looking for another 33 points from this visit to get to snooker's required.
Eight.
Decided to go up for the blue. Inch perfect. He played for a choice of two reds here, and I think he'd rather have been on the one that is near the right-hand cushion. But he's just bounced off the cushion a little bit too far. 8 hours of intense concentration.
$14.
I mean, there's quite a few Chinese players in Sheffield play at the academy, and they would practice 8 hours a day. But this is a little more intense. That's why the standard is so high. The amount of practice that
20.
the younger generation of players put in is quite extraordinary, and that's why the standard, or there's so many of them playing to such a high standard. Just
21.
about perfect. He's got the angle on the blue, just to hit the pink. He doesn't really want to hit it full ball, just 3/4 ball would be perfect. It would bring the 3 reds into play.
This could be the key to the frame if this goes right. Well, he's got, I'm sure like you, Dennis, he played that can. I can't believe he just played for this loose red. He's on 26. It in a fashion. It's not going to be easy. Cue ball tight against the side cushion. Whenever you've not got your hand on the table, it makes the pot difficult.
Needs an angle again, though.
27.
And I don't think he has it. So he's got a 35-point advantage. And the 3 reds are intact there. And there's no path through to pot a colour and move them. The green looks to be dead straight. The pink won't go. Checking the scoreboard, but he's still a long way short of securing the frame.
He'd love to get the snooker here. There's a good line there, yellow, brown, black. But I know that you set a lot of store, as quite a few players do.
Green ball.
Put in a colour safe here. But he's trying to get off the green and cannon the black to get the snooker. Needs to run.
Junhui.
Needs
27.
to run. Missed an opportunity there.
I'd have definitely been knocking the green safe and attempting the snooker as well. He needs some little bit of insurance. And if this next safety shot works out, the game could be quite open with a chance for Mark to put in a counter-attack. Well, not like that. You don't mind coming to the table with this sort of chance. That was an error, and a smile comes to the defending champion's face.
Well, I don't know why he felt necessity to hit it so thin. Anyway, surely it's frame over now. After this green, just one more red needed. And he's perfectly on the red, and this red will put him 40 ahead with just 35 remaining.
4.
But surely off this red, he gets a colour. Just been a little bit surprising, Dennis, some of the mistakes that Mark Selby has made in this frame with the safety on the safety side.
Yeah, very unlike him, but he can't shake off Ding Junhui. He keeps coming back at him every time Mark opens up a 2-frame advantage.
11.
Ding Junhui bounces back.
12.
He had a 3-frame advantage at 10-7. I know there's an awful lot of people who would love this player to win the World Championship this year.
17.
There's 3 other players with a different idea.
19.
He's very popular with the public all over the world, this player. He's won everything
22.
in the game but the World Championship.
$26. $31.
Is he going to bother with the black?
37.
Well, why not? He played such a good positional shot. He might as well roll the black in as well. Doesn't matter that the black doesn't drop.
37.
Ding Junhui will be absolutely
Ding
delighted. He takes the frame and now he's just one behind the defending champion.
And as you saw there, just came up short last year. But he looks a different player to me this year. And boy, have we got a match on here. And Mark Selby will know that. He had his game plan. But
Thank you.
Ding
Frame
Junhui is
22.
competing in every
Mark Selby
aspect
to break.
of the game. The safety, the break building. Three more frames to be played to conclude this third session. First to 17, remember. Well, in that type of shot, if you're going to miss it, you err on the side of hitting it too thin, and maybe that was the only way you could get the cue ball back to the balk end. And by the look of Mark Selby, that brown is snookering him on all reds. That's his view, and it is.
Foul. Miss.
Two cushion escape with pace, missed.
Ding Junhui 4.
No free ball. No reason not to have it replaced.
Well, Ding feels that he can take this pot on. That's what he's looking at. He's feeling very confident.
Yeah, I didn't realise you could get past the blue. As you say, this is a confident shot to be taking on.
Terrific. Tell you what, there's not many players in the game would have taken that on. They would have had the ball replaced because it was an awkward situation for Mark Selby, but that's how confident Ding Junhui is feeling. And he's got another, let's see, 2-3 reds in potable positions. So well, that was a very good decision
4.
to not have it replaced. Look at the total points there for the tournament, 5,005. But in this tournament, points don't make prizes. It's frames won that make prizes.
Yeah, and of course he's played 16 frames more than Mark Selby. But what a good shot he played there. He can score as well as anyone, and he's got some lovely touches. Now, where does this pink go? His own spot isn't available. So, in a direct line with the middle of the top cushion. I think there was a red that Ding may have considered playing that might be blocked by the pink now. But he's still got another couple of reds to go at.
11.
Misjudged that slightly.
Yeah.
This black, you'd like to have been a little bit easier than this. Good pot, but has not recovered the situation just yet. This red to the right corner, the one closest to the right corner. Cuttable, but he's got to try and control the cue ball. Thin cut, never easy to be sure. Held it short of the baulk line.
20.
Did well there.
He's been all over the table for position here. Having to work really hard
24.
to try and get into the ideal situation. And it's not going to be easy. Having to keep
25.
going up for the baulk colours now, but he's got a good angle here on the green. He could go straight into the reds here, and I think he's got quite a decent angle to do that. That's the line he could take with lots of side. Got too much side on it. Is he going to be fortunate? No. Had he have slipped past that red,
28.
it might have been on.
Yes, it all went wrong when that pink didn't go on its spot. It went down and blocked a straightish red that he had.
28.
So he got to accept his medicine and played a good safety. When you get in first like that and make a break of 32, you feel one more chance and get a 40 or 50 and that'll be frame over. And that will be concerning Mark Selby. He's just looked a little bit ruffled to me in the last frame. Is this another two-cushion escape with pace? Don't want to catch the red too thick. Played it well. Played it very well, but kissing the brown, it's not a great white.
Yeah, the big turning point in the match for me was when Mark led 10-7 after a break of 128. Ding come right back with a break of 95 to close the gap to 2 frames. That, for me, was quite a turning point. Because if Mark had have opened up a 4-frame advantage, it would have been tough to rein in the defending champion. But As it is now, it's difficult to pick a winner in this match now. Very evenly matched. As I said, they gave us a great final last year. 18-14 to Mark Selby. This is just as good.
If he takes this red on, it's fraught with danger. Well, he found the gap, but he caught the bump, and the bump leaves Junhui on a nice, easy starter. I say always err on the side of, if you miss it, it's thin, but the bump of the middle pocket ruined any plans of a shot for nothing.
One.
And as I said, when you get that 32-point lead, you're just really looking for one more chance. Now, there is a red, I think, in that little cluster that will go to the right middle. The only reason I say that is because he's come a bit too much angle on the blue. Would you want to risk the cannon? Not really. But you may have to play the cannon, because I don't see how he can hold the cue ball otherwise. And that's the problem. Whenever you play a cannon, you're always trusting a little bit to luck. He's got a red to the left middle. But boy, this is awkward. If it had been straighter on the blue, he could have played for one of the loose reds. Took the chance. Normally a very reliable middle ball or middle pocket potter, but hampered here. Big shot.
Junhui 6.
Yeah, he's not quite as good as Mark Selby is when he's bridging over the reds. That was very awkward. Still fancied him to knock it in, but 3 reds that were a distraction there. But I don't think the black's available. So Mark Selby is going to have to play something a bit special here, because he's going to have to get back up for the blue. And that is far from easy. He looks to be dead straight on this red. Yep. Slight angle, but needs a good shot here. Oh, that's... He's hit that beautifully. In fact, he's overscrewed it. And if the yellow doesn't pass the brown, he wasn't expecting to hit it that well. There's certainly nothing wrong with that new tip that's on the cue to play that sort of shot. And the green's the one that'll get him better position. Always had that red available to the left middle pocket.
Five.
Now then, he's got a chance. There's a gap to leave a couple of reds. In fact, there's about 3 reds available to him, either side. And every time Ding seems to put a bit of pressure on Mark, he responds like the true champion he is.
Yeah, but to be fair, Junhui missing that red to the left middle has given him this chance. He was given it. He didn't make it himself. He'd love to be on the black here. Get the black on its spot. Then he could think about winning the frame at this visit. But he's come badly hampered. Can he get past the pink? Can he get past the pink? Is he stuck on the pink? And can't get through to the black?
He certainly has, John.
One of the balls, eh? It just nestled on the pink. If you just watch that cue ball, just nestling on it. And the look on his face.
Well, where's the easy safety shot? The way they finished up?
There isn't one.
I mean, he can hit the black, but he can't pot it.
Black ball.
That was about the best he could do
Mark
there.
Selby, 11.
It gives the advantage to Ding Junhui, though. Can he capitalise on that little bit of misfortune from Mark Selby? Can he get the white in behind the brown? It's not a bad line. It looks pretty good to me.
Looks like he's got the one cushion escape to nestle onto this red near the top cushion. The only thing is with this type of shot, if you just don't catch the red right and overhit it a fraction, you could leave it on along the top cushion. And with that black being there, you wouldn't have to do much with the cue ball to be on the black. So he's got to hit this absolutely perfect. Doesn't want to run by it. And that's what he would have done with a bit more pace.
Ding's coming around to have a look at the situation. He took a very difficult red on previously, but there's nothing available to him there. I think he got a bit too close to the middle pocket with the last escape. He just didn't, it's not like him to misjudge it slightly. He was much closer to the, probably somewhere near that line might get him to the red. No, he's missed it again, has he? Yeah.
Foul, a miss. Things Junhui for.
Yeah, so he over adjusted there, but he doesn't want to slip by the red. But as I say, if he caught it half ball, he may just leave the red on to the right corner. And there's pressure now. There's pressure building on the shot. He knows he cannot afford to leave one more chance for Ding Junhui, because it could cost him the frame.
That's the one, I'm sure. Wow.
Foul, and a miss.
Useful
Ding
points
Junhui
these for Ding Junhui.
And the more he's readjusted, and the more times he misses this red, the more he'll be wondering why and how he's missing it. Missed it again.
Foul, and a miss. Things Junhui for.
The first attempt he had, Dennis, he was so far away, and now he's trying to readjust, and he's just getting it fractionally wrong, but he's frightened of hitting that red and leaving the pot on now. Even more so now the points he's given away.
Very unusual for Mark Selby. This is the 5th attempt. He's got it this time. He's walking back to his seat. It's not going to reach, is it? Oh, it's a toucher.
Touching ball.
It is touching, which is great from Ding's point of view. Mark looks away at a few of his friends in the balcony. Ding just confirming with the referee that it is touching, so can he get in behind the brown again?
sign. He's cut off the one cushion escape. 43 points the difference now. Still 75 remaining. But this, a more difficult snooker to escape from, being tighter and closer to the brown.
I'll tell you what, there's not many players would outplay Mark Selby in the tactical and safety department, but at the moment Ding Junhui is doing that. That's a little beauty he's played there.
The one thing that Ding Junhui has got to be very conscious of here, he's had control of this safety exchange, but if he leaves a path for Mark Selby back to the balk end, i.e. with a touching ball or a thin snick off a red, then he'll lose the initiative. So he's got to be careful here. That was a good hit from Mark.
As long as he doesn't leave it touching, as John said, otherwise Mark would be able to run away down the table and get behind the brown. Still might be able to do that with lots of right hand side. If anyone can get in behind the brown, it'll be Mark Selby. He's got to try and keep the red safe also, but twice across the table he can get over behind the brown. Well, in fact, he couldn't get over behind the brown because it was much too thin a snick. He had to keep the red safe also. Now Ding has the angle to swing this around. He's got to be careful where the reds go. He's played it thin rather than try and get behind the brown. He's kept everything tight, and that's a pretty good shot there.
Well, one has to say about Ding Junhui, I mean, we know he's a great potter break builder, but this is as good as safety I've ever seen him play. He's matching Mark Selby, who's one of the best in the business in all departments. There you see it, 88% safety success, 82% Mark Selby.
I'm just looking at the angle. Can Ding take this pot on? Well, I don't think it passes the pink, so he can't. Thought he might have had a free shot there, but the pink is blocking the path. Another thin one needed. And another thin one got. Now will Mark Selby this time risk opening these reds? He wouldn't be absolutely sure where they're going to finish, so it's imperative he gets a good cue ball here. He's just working out what would happen there, but it's more about the white this time.
The full ball kiss on the brown hasn't made it a good safety shot. And a chance for Ding here now to try and swing round off this red and try and get in behind the brown, because there's a red on the right hand side of the table, will pass the pink, so he needs a good cue ball here. Swinging it round. Has he got the pace? He's short of pace. He's short of pace. He leaves a chance, but it's not an easy one.
But I don't think the black passes the pink, so, I mean...
Yeah, I was just thinking, Dennis, whether the pink will pot, but to be able to pot the pink, in potting this red, he'll have to screw back maybe 6 inches, and that's a big ask from this distance. Big shot. If he gets it, he's in the frame. If he misses it, could cost him.
Wow. He seemed to hit that much harder than he needed. There's a choice of reds for Ding Junhui here. He doesn't like that as he walks back to his seat, looking up at a few of his friends there. Didn't fancy that one little bit.
Yeah, but I had no option, in all fairness, but to play it. If this goes in, it's a frame winner. Ooh, he just struggled in off the near jaw, but he feels he can pot the pink. I'm not certain if the black goes, but the pink certainly is potable. But his heart must have been in his mouth when it was aiming for that left-hand jaw. If it is the pink, he'll put him 50 points in front with just 67 remaining.
Pink ball.
Just got to screw back and the black will stay there, and he's got a red just below the black spot. Oh, he doesn't want that to cover the red. Has it covered the red?
Seven.
Red, colour red required. Now the black covered the potting angle on the red. Would you believe it?
Seven.
He didn't see that coming, and I'll be honest with you, neither did I, but the run of the ball went against him that time. Just looking at that again, Dennis, I don't think he could pot that red.
He couldn't, because he almost hit them simultaneously, which would have been a foul shot. If you hit the red and the black at the same time, it's called a split ball, and the referee would call a foul. And yeah, I don't think he could pot that red.
So plenty of points to play with, but this first red is very difficult. Playing it into what we call a blind pocket. You can obviously see the cue ball, the object ball, but the pocket's out of your eye line. Tough shot this. But he's played it well. And he's held it nicely for the yellow. Any colours will do. He's got plenty of points to play with at the moment. What a frame and what a steal this could be.
Well, it's a big ask with the way the reds are situated, but he's done it plenty of times in the past. What a time this would be to steal the frame. I mean, he's a right-handed player, so they're not the wrong side of the table, but he's not nicely on the pink to get anywhere near the reds. He'd have to go all the way around the angles here.
Yeah, he's played it badly. I mean, okay, normally you could think he could pot the pink and come off the side cushion, but the black's stopping that route. So as you say, he's got to go in and out of the balk. He's going to dig in, so he's got to avoid the kiss on the yellow and be careful of the right middle pocket. Watch the middle pocket and the yellow. Well, he's avoided it. Full ball kiss, it'd be perfect. Fraction out. Good effort.
10.
Was it ever a good effort here, as we show you the white arcing slightly, missed the yellow, and just touched the red. Now, is there a path back behind the brown here? He has to avoid the black. Here he comes. This is pretty good. If
Mark
not
Selby,
the brown, he's got the green there. That was an excellent shot.
This frame now taking on massive proportions. We're in the 29th minute. What a big frame. Junhui has had a couple of opportunities in it. It really hurt. If he was to lose it and go 2 frames behind again.
Well, that was strange. Junhui seemed to be looking up at a monitor. That's not bad. He hasn't left anything easy. This red will cut back. Looks like a natural angle to cannon into the pink if he did take it on for the left corner. And he's got to be a bit careful he doesn't pass the pink and black and go into the middle pocket. I think that's a sort of a natural angle White would take if he plays it plain ball. So let's see the path that the cue ball is going to take here. Oh, that's a great shot. That's a terrific shot. If it bounces, he's on the brown and he can get up to the 2 reds. Avoided the pink, just avoided the middle pocket.
Played it well. Nice angle on the red. He can't afford to pot this red, I don't think, and try and bring the other red into play because he's not certain to be on the colour. So just play for the pink or blue.
6.
Now he looks to have landed absolutely perfect on the pink to screw over to the right hand side cushion for this last red. Massive frame this, big chance.
That's where he'd love the white ball. That's not bad. Screw back for the blue here.
12.
To give himself a chance to get to the yellow.
As we saw from the
13.
score, any colour will do. He doesn't want to be straight on the blue though. If he is, it means he can't get close position on the yellow, and believe me now, and he couldn't be much straighter. There's pressure on every shot here. Trying to dig down, but there's not a lot of room for the cue when you're in the jaws of the pocket like this.
Well, if he's going to try and screw this back, it makes this blue so much more difficult.
You all right?
A very timely cough or whatever it was, just as he was going to deliver the cue. That was pretty good under the circumstances.
$18.
Six remaining covers required.
Boy, is he good under pressure, John. I mean, this,
20.
what a steal this would be.
Yes, this will really hurt Ding Junhui when he looked for all money. He was going to get back to all square. I always think the key
23.
to this type of clearance is this shot now from brown to blue. If he lands perfect on the blue, it should be a formality.
And what I'm looking for, John,
27.
here is see what sort of reaction, if he does win this frame, from Mark Selby, because he's been looking up at a few of his friends in the balcony.
I think we're going to get a big reaction.
32.
This was a big frame. Ding Junhui had his opportunities. This will hurt. Pink and black required.
$38.
This to go 2 frames in front once again. It's there, and what a frame that was. What a steal. Ding Junhui, he'll be really hurting over that one. He had a few good chances. Mark Selby fist pumps his way out of the arena to go to the dressing room. 12-10 he leads.
Thank you. Frame 23. Ding Junhui to break.
First to 17 goes through to the final. Very good long putt, but it's only going to get him 1 point. This match played to a finish tomorrow afternoon. Who's going to get the better night's sleep? The next 2 frames will tell us that.
Mark Selby 1.
Into the side of the reds, there's no problem here, won't leave anything. Oh, that could be touching.
Touching that one, Mark.
The Mark can just roll up behind the yellow there. He won't play tight in behind the yellow, he'll leave it tight on the cushion. Has he tried to get back up behind the yellow? Same shot again.
Yeah, just a little bit more difficult to judge, but he's played it well. I've seen the side of Ding Junhui, Dennis, in this match that has impressed me. He's tactical, and his knowledge of the angles and everything else has been superb in this evening's session and throughout the match.
And what I also like about John, he's sitting upright in his seat. You know, a few years back, he used to sort of, if things went wrong on a frame, he would slump a little bit in the chair, and that's not a good sign. It shows your opponent that you're under it a little bit. But I like his whole attitude. It's fantastic at the moment. And what about that shot? Fabulous putt. Well, that's as good a putt as you could ever wish to see under the circumstances, especially what happened in the previous frame. 10 out of 10 for that thing, Junhui.
Played for the red to the left middle.
8.
Seems to be a few loose reds maybe available to the right corner. No need to play any pack breaking shots, but needs to have nice control of this cue ball. Decided to come back for the black.
9.
Couldn't have played it better. Beautiful shot. And this is where, as I say, he's as good as anyone I've ever seen. These little stun screws, little cannons.
Yeah, I mean, he's made 451 centuries in his career.
60.
Turned pro in 2003. Mark Selby has made 471. So two of the game's great break builders here. Just let that one slip away a little bit.
He'd be all right if he can pot the blue and avoid the kiss on the red on the right-hand side of the table. I don't think he can just drop this in. He's got to avoid the kiss if he's coming off top and side cushion. Well, he thinks he can drop it in. And they held it too well, amazingly enough.
22.
Well, this is a delicate little shot. Play the cannon onto the other red. He might even pot it. Played it nicely. Pushed the other one over the corner pocket. Lovely little shot there. It did look very easy. And what a positive shot that was under the circumstances. That's why he's one of the game's great break builders. A lot of players had a couple of reds would play for. He went straight into the bunch, and that could pay great dividends. He's having a smile there because he wants the cue ball cleaned, because he's just going to roll this red in. The last thing he would want was a heavy contact. I know it's a bit of a tricky spot to have the cue ball cleaned. Brenton Moore will be up to the task.
Yes, and Stephen Hendry and Ken Doherty in the studio were asking, could that last frame have knocked the stuffing out of Ding? It certainly hasn't. As you say, Dennis, what a positive shot that was to go into them.
And the fact he was smiling there when he asked for that cue ball to be clean, that's another good sign.
Once again, lovely control of the cue ball.
38.
Just 31 points needed from this position. You'd be very surprised if you didn't do it.
39.
Didn't want to be that straight on the black. And it's just run him out of position slightly. You were always
46.
looking to just have a slight angle on the colour or on the red. Got to find the gap here to get back on the black. Played it well.
47.
Just a kiss off the second red. He'll be mighty relieved. He's now back in perfect position. just letting this cue ball run
54.
loose at the moment. There's a lot of pressure on him. He can't afford to miss this opportunity. The last frame he should have won. It's at full stretch here. But he's recovered the situation, and well, once again, he's probably a little bit straighter on this black than he needed to be. Just another couple of reds and colours after this black will see him over the line.
Had enough angle there just to force it in. And he can reach this. He can stretch
62.
around. Bit of a stretch, but he'll be okay. Fabulous
63.
response this from Ding Junhui. It really is. After what happened in the previous frame.
This to go 69 ahead with 67 remaining. Superb, superb.
70.
And now he can relax and concentrate and see if he can make his 12th
71.
century in this year's World Championship. Way ahead of, I think it's probably twice as many as the next player to him, which is Mark Selby. I think he's had 6. Mark Allen, I think, had 6 centuries before he got knocked out by John Higgins.
78. $79.
There's Mark Selby. Nothing he could do about that, about this situation, because the opening red from Ding Junhui was, well, nobody could play safe against a pot like this. Look at this. Absolutely perfect.
86.
Run it round after 2 cushions. Got on the black. And there's been an
87.
air of inevitability about him winning the frame in this visit, which is remarkable after what happened the frame before.
It's just brilliant. It's a real treat and a pleasure to be commentating on this semi-final.
94.
It really is. We've
95.
had 67 centuries so far. I don't think they'll reach the record of 86, but you never know the way these boys are starting to play. And there's another one. Absolutely fantastic. 10 up all over the Crucible.
102. $103.
And one more frame to be played. He's had 3 centuries in every match he's played so far this year.
$108. $110.
Absolutely perfection.
Yes, he's a delight to watch when he gets in the balls.
113.
Cue ball control of the highest order. A scoring machine.
And an exhibition type shot to get on the blue.
170.
Hasn't hit it hard enough, so it'll be up into the corner. Doesn't matter about that, that's a wide. But what a response from Ding Junhui. The pressure was right on him and he comes straight back with that magnificent break. And now he's back just 1 behind again at 12-11.
And there's the scene. Now there's one more frame to be played in this session and nobody's leaving. There's the stats. That's the one that's interesting me, Dennis, the pot success. 90% now, Ding Junhui. I always feel you've got to be 90% or above. Mark Selby's just dropped below that 90% mark.
But look at that safety success rate. I mean, Ding Junhui are way ahead of Mark Selby. One of the best tactical players we've ever had in the game. I think that's where Ding's game has improved so much, as well as his break building, John.
Absolutely. And Ding Junhui comes back in. And what a big frame this is. He's been trying all day to get back to all square. Remember, he won the first session 5-3.
Final frame of this session. Mark Selby to break.
He lost
Quiet
the
down
second
now,
session
please.
6-2, which put him 2 behind. He keeps clawing within 1. Can he get this frame and take us into that final session tomorrow afternoon, all square?
Well, he's got the first half chance, and after the red he knocked in the previous frame and went on to knock in a frame-winning break. Can he knock a long one in here? Not quite. And he's caught the red. He doesn't want to hit the blue. Still a pot on for Mark Selby.
Ooh, now that does surprise me. And it also surprised me where the cue ball finished. So, position like that, and was determined to try and get the cue ball and play it as a shot for nothing, and lucky to leave Ding Junhui hampered like this. And all things considered, he doesn't deserve to go in off here. All things considered, that was an excellent shot. You try that one. Striking down tight to a bought colour. You'll be satisfied with that.
Very, very awkward.
Just a touch of the nails at the moment for Mark. He thought it was in. Wasn't easy, tight under the side cushion, but so close, and the double kiss has left Ding Junhui a chance of this red. It's not easy. No, it wasn't easy, that. It was a type of shot where if you just dropped it in, you wasn't going to get good position, so he had to inject a little bit of pace. And as we've seen, and we see so many times, that little bit of pace, you've got to be all that more accurate.
Yeah, this is where I was surprised with Mark Selby. He played this as a shot to nothing. Normally Mark would screw that back and leave himself on the blue, but he knew he might leave a red, and he played it as a shot to nothing, which is not like Mark Selby. Maybe he feels that this final frame of this session, he doesn't want to make a mistake and let Ding Junhui in.
Tremendous safety shot once again from Ding Junhui. And it's noticeable now, Dennis, when someone plays a good shot, there's not a lot of table tapping going on. This is the real thing. And both players. Where's the black ball going?
Foul.
No free ball,
7.
because you can get through to this red near the top cushion, but will Ding want to play it, or will he prefer Mark Selby to play it? Personally, I'd let the other man have a go at this.
He's got to make sure he avoids the cannon onto the red near the cushion. Now that is an attacking safety shot if ever I've seen one. That is superb. And that tells me, John, how positively this young player is thinking.
Well, to be honest with you, when I suggested he'd let Mark Selby play shot, I thought he could only hit the red near the top cushion. I didn't realise he could get to the meat of the cluster.
Oh, have a look at this. Surely there's not a 3-ball plant. Red onto the pink, pink onto the red. Do you know, it might just work this. And what a body blow that would be, because Dings played a superb safety shot there, but that is a distinct possibility.
Yeah, very positive safety shot. Junhui trying to keep this frame open, but there is a possibility of this 3-ball plant. Red onto the pink, pink onto the red, red in the right corner. It's not a certainty though.
Well, he's looking to see if he can avoid cannoning into that red if he takes the 3-ball plant on. I don't think he... Well, there might be a gap there, but... Well, he's back looking at it. If anyone could pull off a 3-ball plant, it's this fellow. So here we go. Not only the plant, but keep an eye on the cue ball here as well.
Junhui must be thinking, how on earth did I leave the 3-ball plant? But he's not couldn't. It wasn't the best of kisses on the green for Mark. Did well to spot it, but he's not out of the woods yet. This is a tough pot on the green. Should he take it on?
Mark Selby 1.
Oh, he didn't play it that convincingly, did he? But he knew there was reds adjacent to both corner pockets, and the one to the right corner is available.
Yeah, the only problem with the one to the right corner, he played, I'm sure, to leave the one to the left corner, is how do you get on a colour? Okay, the green's over the pocket, but even how do you get the cue ball in a position to pop the green? I mean, the black's completely out of commission. The pink's a possible ball to get on. Now, is he going to slip past the blue? Yeah, he can take the green if he hasn't got the correct side of the blue. But he has that red near the left corner. Good cueing there. He's okay here with the blue. As long as he hasn't blocked the path through to this red.
No, I think he should be all right, Dennis. But he couldn't do a lot else with the cue ball.
6.
Once again, he won't want to play the green. He'd like to keep that as reserve. So try and get up for the blue.
7.
Now he may decide to play the green. He's not good on the blue. The blue's missable. The green isn't.
Well, regardless of what happens in this last frame, what a final session we're going to have tomorrow afternoon. He's took the more difficult pot. How's your left ding? It's not too bad at all. Well judged there.
12.
Okay, he'll have to go up for the blue again.
Yep. 13.
Not a good chance just yet. Reds are nicely placed. Pink and black are not. Although having said that, the black is available into the left corner pocket. There's a red next to the black that's preventing it going
18.
into the right corner.
19.
He's on the black. And if he can get on the red that's closest to the black, it's a terrific chance. Just a little bit further back would have made it a lot easier to hold for the black.
26.
He's got the other red into the right corner, so he can leave that for the time being.
27.
What a session of snooker, John.
Well, if you don't enjoy this, then you don't like snooker. This has been absolutely brilliant. The twists, the turns, the run of the ball, the bad run of the ball for
34.
one player. And that's what makes the World Championship
35.
and these longer matches so special. It gives chance for the luck to go to and fro. And Mark Selby, who came into this evening's session with a 2-frame advantage, can see that slipping away here.
42.
Junhui, well, he's played absolutely brilliant, and he's taken everything that's been thrown at him. Some people could have wilted
43.
with some of the bad run he's had tonight, but he's hung on in there. He's lost a frame which he should have won. Not that you're entitled to win any frame, you've got to do it yourself. Lovely cannon on the pink.
Well, I can't see him slipping up now, but having said that, he's having the white clean because of the way he's playing the next shot. And he looks pretty fresh out there. This has been a grueling session mentally for both players. There you go, just over 9 hours and 6 minutes of hard concentration
51.
and some brilliant play from both players.
This to go 64 points in front with 75 remaining, so just another red and a colour required. And that now looks a formality. Red and a black
50.
to go 72 points in front with 67 remaining. Just slightly hampered. No problem.
59.
He may take the pink because the pink's unmissable. The pink would put him 71 points in front with 67 remaining. Mark Selby looks to have lost his 2-frame advantage. In it goes. Well, what a session of snooker we've seen tonight, Dennis. Incredible. It'll go down in the annals of one of the
65.
great sessions for me in Crucible history.
Yeah, it's been an absolute
66.
pleasure to commentate on what we've witnessed this evening. It really has. I've loved every minute of it. Even the first frame, 18 minutes before a ball was potted.
And even then they delivered a century break.
71.
Mark Selby did. But every respect
72.
to Ding Junhui, as I say, he's taken everything that's been thrown at him, losing frames he shouldn't have, lost. Bad run of the ball. But he stuck at it. He never dropped his head.
79.
And the last two frames have been absolutely scintillating. And wouldn't it be fitting if he could finish with another century?
Thank you. 80.
He's looked very comfortable out there. We've seen him having the odd smile and laugh with the referee when he asked him to clean a
87.
ball. He's just in a very comfortable place at the moment. He's where every snooker player wants to be. He's in the semi-final of the World Championship, and he's playing some scintillating snooker.
So, this red and
95.
the green wouldn't be enough. He needs a red and possibly go back for the blue. Get in, get in. This is
96.
the icing on the cake.
And his 13th century, John, this year.
Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic.
101.
You will not see many sessions of snooker better than this.
Well, John, we're on this match
106.
tomorrow afternoon. Can't wait.
No. And pick a winner. Can't do that
110.
either. We'll just have to see how it unfolds, because Mark Selby, great competitor. He'll appreciate what Ding has done here this evening.
115.
With his back firmly against the wall. Remember, went 10-7 behind, but nothing was going to deter him. He wanted to win this session, and he's won it 5 frames to 3. The black, the perfect position to finish the night in style. Fantastic and well played, Mark Selby says to Ding Junhui. What a match and what a climax we've got, as Denny said, tomorrow afternoon. Mark Selby with 2 up. Ding Junhui takes a standing ovation, and as well he might. He dug deep and has won this session 5 frames to 3. Tomorrow, all square, 12 all.